One of the best players in the Premier League, Kevin De Bruyne, instrumental. Manchester City beat Sheffield United 2-0. First time in the top flight Sheffield United have lost since 2007. It's been some run. And they played their part in this one, didn't they?
They did. Listen, Sheffield United have been very good all season long. I think they exceeded their own expectations and, well, to this point. But it speaks a lot about Sheffield United when you go into Manchester City and you fully expect to not just give them a game, but you leave there a little bit disappointed that you don't get some fair efforts. So credit to them for the part that they've played in their own successes this season. And
they thought they'd taken the lead. VAR chalked it off. Bearing in mind what we had seen this weekend, he's the equivalent of 400,000 miles offside with some of the close calls that we've had, but there's no complaints about that.
No, listen, again, offside is an objective decision, and either you're on or you're off, regardless of the margins. So as much as it always stinks to have a goal choked off after you see it hit the back of the net, the right decision was made.
Okay, let's talk about City's first goal, because if the ball, and as a commentator, you've kind of got to know your laws, and this is where it gets a bit geeky, but if the ball hits the referee and possession changes, then a drop ball takes place. The ball does not hit the referee here, but John Fleck is impeded. There is nothing in the laws. It's just it's just bad luck here.
We had this discussion in ESPN FC a couple of weeks ago. I think we were talking about an Australian game where the ball hit the referee and fell nicely to a player who teed up his teammate. And you know, it's a drop ball, and you understand possession changed because of the ball striking the referee. We had that discussion, and Craig, and I can't remember who else was on the show, certainly thought that was a good law change. I wasn't so certain, because either the referee is a part of the pitch or he's not. And as much as in that circumstance, when the ball hits the referee and falls to an opponent and he scores, you understand the law change and the sense around it. In this, for all intents and purposes, it had the exact same effect.
Exactly. It doesn't hit the ref.
It doesn't hit him, but
it's not a drop ball, but it's got. He's a part.
Exactly. He plays a part, or he obstructs it in a way that sees possession change hands. And so again, given what we've seen and been saying about Sheffield United all season long, given their efforts in this one again, to see that be the definitive goal. Listen, I know that City went on and scored a second, but that is the difference between 0-0 and City taking the lead and the whole game changing complexion. It feels wrong for Sheffield United primarily, and I'm not sure if primarily is the right word I want to say, but when you have an underdog performing the way Sheffield United has, that's a hard way to find yourself behind and chasing the game.
It is, sadly for Sheffield United in this instance. It's just one of those things, and it might have had the same material impact, but it's not in the laws. It might be something that they look at. One thing I would say about it, and it must be very difficult for professional footballers, if you've spent 10, 12, however long years in your career, if something like that happens, instinct, you stop. You've got to play the whistle. It's like goalkeepers thinking, well, I can see the flag, but we have seen you've got to play to the whistle and then just see what happens after that.
Yeah, and listen, I understand that, having been involved in youth football and that message being drummed into your head as well. But also being a professional and having played on that stage, there are certain expectations on the park. And again, I'm with the players in this one. That happens while I'm playing, I stop. Because I think the referee has had a material impact on the game. And common sense, or should say, that the referee should blow the whistle or stop the game. To that point, if the referee blows the whistle right there and then and says, I'm giving a drop ball, or I'm giving the ball to, I'm dropping the ball kindly for Sheffield United, I don't think City complain too much. Before it develops and hits the back of the net, I don't think City complain too much at all.
Give me a better midfielder right now than Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, I can't. Certainly not in Premier League terms. I'm struggling to think of any as good as him in world football. He has been simply outstanding.
This is what I think makes the world that we live in wacky and funky or whatever. He hardly played last year. City set records. He's playing outstanding this year, but City are... I mean, I know there's a lot of different things, Laporte and various other things, but for a team not to have him last year, I think that puts what they did last year on an even greater pedestal because he's that good.
Yeah, he is. And listen, take nothing away from City, how good they've been and how good they continue to be. I think we're witnessing arguably one of the greatest teams in Premier League history, certainly single-season teams. Liverpool, I know we have half a season to go to really establish that. But you're also seeing one of the best teams over a period of time in Manchester City, with or without Kevin De Bruyne. They're a whole lot better with him on the field, but they show that just as much. They are they are very good, even without him. Good enough to win the league last season.
I think the only people that had Sheffield United staying in the league at the start of the season were Sheffield United fans. I had them down, did you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, what they've done under Chris Wilder is phenomenal.
It really has been. And you know, in over recent years, we've had nothing greater than the Leicester City story, just to kind of bring some of that magic back into the game as neutrals. And I think Sheffield United are doing their part.
Plenty plaudits for them this season, but no points at the Etihad as City won it 2-0.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.